God, I feel like preaching to about 200 folk in here. And so the Bible declares here, God said, have you considered my servant Job? Have you thought about him? Because I've been watching you, Satan. I've seen you go from the north and the south, from the west and the east. I've seen you scratch your head, saw you sit down on a rock and try to figure out what to do next to Job. And while you were thinking, I was thinking. And since you brought your snagglepuss, no good, ugly, demon, dragon looking self up in my presence, and because you are bored, I'm going to give you recreation. Let me give you a hobby. The Lord spoke to me these words. Tell the people, let me use them for a hobby, just for a season. I wish I had some help in here. Look at a neighbor and say, neighbor, the Lord wants to know, can he use you for a hobby, just to shut the devil up, just to give him something to do, just to fancy his fancy. Look at a neighbor and say, neighbor, yes he can, yes he can. He wants to use you to prove a point to the accuser. Grab your neighbor's hand and say, neighbor, the Lord wants to prove a point to your accuser that nothing will by any means separate you from the love of God. Not my mama, not my daddy, not my boo-boo, not my son or my daughter, not my church, not my car, not my house. I made a vow to the Lord and I won't take it back. For God I live and for God I die. God. Somebody see here. And so the text declares that God says, I'm going to let you touch him. But whenever you do, you can't kill him. Now here, he gets to touch him. But he can't kill him. His children, they end up dead. Livestock end up gone. Everything wiped out. Wife goes crazy. Sickness in his body. Friends get crazy. Every hedge gets taken down. Every angel has to step back, and the angels of God is weeping and crying, Lord, why did you move us from around Job? This was the only man that we wanted to be around. We didn't mind staying here because this man prayed. This man fasted. He read his word. This man believed you. This man trusts you. And the angels are standing there saying, when will we be able to bless Brother Job again? The Bible declares that for everything that Job lost, the Bible says, the B-I-B-L-E declares that for everything that the devil put his hands on, blew his breath on, three little pigs was in some houses, and a wolf came, and it took him a while to blow down the house. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Jack be nimble and Jack be quick. They even jumped over a candlestick. But why in the world would you make me a hobby? Tell a neighbor, what is a hobby? A hobby is something You create something you pick up in boredom. Now this messed me up because the Lord said, house, do you see what I mean? I said, no, I don't, God. He said, don't you see it? I said, no, I don't see it yet. He said, look again. I said, I do not see what you see, God. I don't know what you're saying, God. He said, look at it again. I looked again and saw the devil throwing my money back and forth in the air like the monkey in the middle. I saw my ministry in the air, saw my dream in the air, because it's just a hobby, it's just something to do. And the Lord spoke to me and said, son, I gave you the ability to let the devil keep his job. What does that mean? If he needs me to keep his job, that means I've got all power in my hand. And now let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich. Lift up your heads, all ye gates, and be you lifted up, you everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Grab your neighbor, shake their hand like you're gonna shake it off, and say, neighbor, who is the baddest woman alive, the baddest man alive? I'm above and not beneath. I'm the head and not the tail. And that's why no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And that's why weeping may endure for a night, but joy. And that's why he will prepare a table in the presence of my enemies. And that's why when my enemies, even my foe, came to eat of my flesh, they stumbled and fell. Say yeah.